Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, hello everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. I said, well, I'm sitting up here cutting the last of these banana peppers to get into the dehydrator. It's about 4:30 p.m. on Friday. So once I get the trays loaded, I'm looking at 9 trays here, then I will probably start the dehydrator at 5. I will let it go until I go to bed, and then when I get up tomorrow, I may turn it on. I don't usually run the dehydrator when I'm away, and you guys know that I'm getting up early tomorrow to go to the farmer's market. I didn't finish telling y'all, I got off into something else like I always do. But when I started the EBT story yesterday, I was saying that the farmer's market take EBT, and then I went on to tell you about the discount you get and all that stuff if you're buying fruits and vegetables. But what I did not, or what I forgot to mention, because I got off into another subject, is at the farmer's market, how they do it is, if you're using EBT at the farmer's market, you go to the front office when you get there, when you arrive, and you let them know that you'll be using EBT. And what they do is they run your card, you let them know how much you plan on spending, and they run the card for that amount. And if you need more later, you just go back and have them to run it again. But once your budget is set, you run your card and they put in that amount, once you do your transaction. So let's say I'm spending $40, which is what I plan to spend tomorrow off the card. I will go in, I will slide the card or whatever, input $40, and then what they do is give you tokens. Well, when they give you the tokens, the discount will apply. So although I'm using 40 off the card, it's going to show the discount with the tokens. So she'll give me the tokens to spend, and so it'll probably be at 20% or 25% off of each fruit or vegetable that you buy, or whatever your transaction is. You're going to get that 20 to 25% off. I can't remember the exact number of your savings. So she's going to factor that in once she gives you the tokens. So basically, although only $40 is being used on my card, I'll get a lot more than $40. I'm thinking at $40, I'll probably end up getting like 50 or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. She'll have the calculation there. It's already set up through the state or whatever. So that's what I plan to do tomorrow. So I'm cutting these peppers now, and like I said, I will get these dehydrated hopefully overnight, because I washed them as soon as I got them, because I noticed that Pelly's peppers, although I wash anyway, but Pelly's peppers are a lot dirtier, so you have to do a lot more washing. So I washed these when I got them on yesterday, and then I instead of doing them up yesterday because I was tired, I just I put them in the fridge overnight, and so a lot of the water has already evaporated off of the peppers. So they should not take as long to dry as the last batch, which was, first of all, more peppers, and secondly, I had washed them then and there when I saw more dirt. So when I put them on the dehydrator, although I had patted them dry with the paper towel, they were still sopping wet. So these aren't. These are, they're moist, but they're not what you would call sopping wet. So they'll dry. The water part of it will evaporate within the first probably 30 minutes, and then the dehydrating process will start after that. So right now I'm getting them cut up. I have 3 more peppers to go. So I explained about how the EBT works at the farmer's market. So I look forward to that. And then I've had time to think, y'all, because I finished off a shawl I was working on crocheting. I finished that off last night. And so while I was sitting there crocheting last night, I thought about, I was like, okay, I said I was going to dehydrate these banana peppers. And then I also have, these are my peppers right here. And there's some at the bottom too of the bowl here that had worked their way down. But these were at the top after I cut those up, after I finished de-seeding and everything. So I put these here. And I thought about it. I said, now, I know that I plan on just saving these. They're going to go in a mason jar. And here's one of the new ones, you guys. And I didn't show y'all the tops to the ones that I bought yesterday. That's another thing that I forgot. Hold on. Let me go get it. Or get one of them. Okay, here we go. Now, the tops, okay, first of all, I read this. This just says established in 1908. So whatever brand this is, and I'm getting fingerprints all over it, but here, this is how it looks. But they came with this top, and this looks like, you know, one of your sugar tops, like if you're using a sugar jar or whatever, and so you can pour. So one of these this is going to be probably for the mixed pepper powder. And then I can just pour it from the top. And the top closes down. But when you turn it, you know, you can pour the pepper out. And so, or pour whatever you have in it out. And so I might put the vanilla sugar in one of them because I have that in the big quart jar. So I might use the other one for the vanilla sugar and just keep it there here on the table. But anyway, I really like these. But these tops, they fit this mason jar, but they will not fit any other mason jar that I have. It won't, because I said this looks more like, I was like, it looks like a small top, like for a pint. And when I put it on the bigger, you know, the larger one, the wide mouth, it didn't fit. But then when I put it on a regular mason jar, it would not fit. It only fits on this. So, you know how some tops are interchangeable or whatever? These aren't. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. But anyway, back to my idea. When I was thinking while crocheting, I said, okay, I'm going to save these peppers once they're done on tomorrow. They're going in a jar and they will remain there until, at least until I get the Italian peppers, because this is going to be for the mixed pepper powder, which will be just any variety of peppers. Then I thought about it. I was like, okay, I said, perhaps I'll just do a half pint of the mixed pepper powder. But guess what I decided to do? I'm getting ready to do a big mixture for just seasoning itself. So this, part of this, at least half of the banana peppers at least, or half of the peppers, are going to be put into my mixed seasoning, because I never thought to make that. And every year I take the seasonings I have once I run out and I mix them all together and I put them, I have a shaker, you know, because I save all of my seasoning bottles and I wash them out, and once they dry, I use them as shakers, like my seasoning salt, anything. And so that saves on money. So I have a lot of bottles with the little shakers to them. So the one that I have now that I'm using is a tall one. It was for the Adobe seasoning mix. And so I saved that one a couple of years ago. And every year I do my mixes. I'll mix my seasonings, usually in August or early September. And so I mix my seasonings in the bottle. I just put whatever in there, you know, I layer it and then I shake it up. And that's what I use for everything. When I do my seasoning, if I'm cooking, frying, baking, whatever, unless it's something specific, then I use that mixed seasoning powder. And it usually, that big bottle usually lasts me for about a little over a year, because I still have like a fourth left in there. So it's time to get my seasoning. And so I thought about it. I was like, okay, this year, instead of using all that store-bought stuff, now some store-bought things will go in it, but I'm going to be putting some homegrown stuff and farmer's market stuff in it as well. First of all, I decided I'm going to be putting some of the peppers, you know, once I process them in the food processor, I'm a process it real fine. I'm not leaving any flakes, so it's gonna go for at least 5 or 10 minutes because I want it to be fine. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be adding some garlic powder. That'll be from my stash. I'll be adding some black pepper, a wee bit of salt from my stash. I have basil that I've hung up to dry. And then before I start these up, I'm going out to the greenhouse and I have a whole batch of basil I need to get. So I'm going to get that fresh basil that's in the greenhouse right now. It's still alive and growing. So I'm getting ready to put it to sleep, as well as the French tarragon. I'm putting that to sleep now, and that can resume next year. But I'm going to harvest all that basil and French tarragon that's in the greenhouse. I'm putting it with this batch. I'm saving a tier just for the herbs. The top tier will be saved for the herbs. And I'm putting that, the French tarragon, the basil, the French tarragon, and then on tomorrow, because those are the only 2 herbs that I have at this point. I have mint, but I don't want to add mint to my mixed seasoning. But the French tarragon, I'm thinking of stuff I like. So I'm going to be adding lemon pepper from my stash, in the cabinet, salt, pepper. I'm going to add for sweetness, because I like a sweet profile with everything. Barbecue sauce, you name it. I like a sweet profile. So on tomorrow, I will be, let me quit getting mixed up here. Sorry, y'all. Let me stay on track. Okay, so I'm going to be using the lemon pepper, a little salt, a little of my Watkins black pepper, garlic powder. I'm going to be using some of my old homemade onion powder because I ended up with a pint and one of those little things full of the onion powder. So I'm going to put that in the mix because I'm putting everything into the processor and I'm mixing it together in there because I want it mixed well and I want it to be mixed finely. So onion powder's going in there. A few of these peppers, I'm not going to put any of the banana pepper powder in there. This is going to be later because remember, I still have to get my Italian nails. And the other thing I will be getting at the farmer's market, I will talk about that next. I don't want to lose track. So seasonings, spices, I'm using I said I'm going to put either a half a teaspoon or an eighth of, no, I'm going to go with the full half because I like a sweet profile. I'm going to put a half teaspoon of brown sugar in that mix. I'm going to use some ginger. I have ginger here that I bought at the Spice Exchange store a couple of years ago. I'm going to put a little dill seed. I have some dill seed up there. That was my mother's. And I also have some celery seed. That was my mother's. And that's some old stuff. It's strong too, but it is some good stuff. So I'm going to put just a little. That's when I'll measure with my measuring spoons because not much will go in there. Just enough to add to it. And then here comes the star of the show, you guys. Oh, wait, let me back up because the star of the show is last. Okay, the next thing is when I go to the farmer's market tomorrow, y'all know I'm going to have the budget. And so they have a spice, and I've never even shopped the spice booth there, but there is a spice booth there. And so they have all the spices that I didn't grow. So I like lemon pepper. So I said, if they have lemongrass, I'll get some lemongrass. Hopefully they'll have some saffron. They usually have, some of those good exotic type spices there. So not spices, but exotic type herbs there. So if there's anything that appeals to me, and y'all know I don't like lemon, but in this case, I do like lemon pepper. So whatever they have herb-wise that I don't have, and depending on the cost, it shouldn't be that much, I wouldn't think. I will be getting that to add, and I will get it dehydrated in my next batch, and that will be added to the bottle where I have these peppers and stuff after I dehydrate these tonight. So I'm going to be adding to this for my seasoning. Okay, of course, the Italian peppers. But here's the star of the show, because I said I want like a sweeter profile. So I'm using the, I'm gonna put a little brown sugar, just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit to give it a sweet, a little sweet fling, because that ginger tends to have like a sweet profile to it. I mean, it has its own flavor and everything, but you can taste a little sweetness with the ginger. So I'm thinking the brown sugar just might add something to it. And everything is going to be stuff that I like with the exception of the lemon, but lemon pepper, I like that. I just don't like lemon itself. So I'm going to make sure that lemon pepper isn't going to overpower anything. But here's the star of the show, you guys. What do you see here? I just washed it, and this was in the vanilla sugar because remember I added some extra vanilla to the vanilla sugar the other day. I said, well, I can spare 4 of these pieces, and that's all I need. 4 of these pieces that still have vanilla, and I'm going to dry it, and it's going to be processed in the food processor along with the rest of the seasonings. Hey. Just to give it a new flavor. So that's going to be my secret ingredient. It's not so secret now since I just told it. And I think it's going to come out good because mixed spices, you cannot go wrong. Especially if you use the spices that you like. You'll just have to make sure that when you use the spice, if you're cooking something with your mixed spices, you just don't go overboard with your seasoning. And I like that because I don't really like cooking with salt. I'll cook with salt in stuff, but I don't like going heavy with salt. Sometimes I don't use salt at all. Like everybody loves my spaghetti. I haven't made any in over 2 years because it's just me. And now that my brother-in-law, everybody who liked my spaghetti are now dead and gone, it's just my sister, my niece, and I. Because my one nephew's in Georgia and the other one, he was in North Carolina, but he's back here now, but he's in another city. So we don't see him, they see him more often than I do. So it doesn't make sense for me to make a big pot of spaghetti anymore. So we just don't make it. But if I were to make it, speaking of which, Italian seasoning will be going into the mix too. But the thing is, like I say, I don't even add salt to my spaghetti. Never have, and everybody loves it. I've always added natural herbs and spices to my spaghetti, and it tastes just fine. It has a good flavor to it, and everybody has always liked it. And so it's the same concept. As long as it's herbs that you like, and y'all know in the wintertime, I like to grill during the winter and whatnot. When I do my veggie packs and when I do and I'm finishing up now, when I do my veggie packs and when I do my salmon, I like to grill salmon on the grill because it's quick and easy. I don't be doing ribs and stuff. Every now and then a steak. I know there's certain flavor profiles for different meats and different vegetables and whatnot, but mixed, I like it. So hey, if you like it, you like it. Let me cut this one. This is my homegrown banana pepper. I'm just slicing it a little bit thinner. Okay. Okay, I got 3 out of this. Good. Okay, actually I can get 4. Let's go for a 4th. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'll lay this so it'll dry quicker, and then I see a shishito. And you know what? There's some peppers out there ready now. Y'all saw those banana peppers yesterday. I'm gonna leave those on there. I want to see just how big they'll get. And then but on my other pepper plant, I saw some more shishitos, and I saw some more of my red peppers. These are paprika, so that's part of the seasoning. I might not have enough paprika peppers to do a full thing, but I can truly and honestly say, this contains paprika too, and that red color is going to be there in the mixture. So if when I go out to get the French tarragon, and I'm going to dehydrate that, and that's going to be processed. And this will be my first time processing French tarragon. Each time I've dehydrated French tarragon, I just throw it right in a bottle because it's so small, like rosemary. But this time it's going to be added to the mixture and it's going to be blended in. I think it's going to be divine. And if I don't like it, oh well. But I know I'm going to like my mixture. I'm hoping to get at least a half pint. Well, I might, you know what, it might be enough to fill that, my jar, because there's still a fourth left in there. So I think I'll get enough to fill my, the shaker jar. That's what I'm talking about. Because and then tomorrow I'll be getting more, and a lot of stuff is going to be dumped in there. So tomorrow, after I get back from the farmer's market, I think I'm going to harvest the potatoes. Not the new ones. I'm treating those. I want to concentrate on those. But I think I'm going to go on and harvest my container potatoes, because I don't really expect them to have any size to them. Although I did use the muriate of potash and stuff, but all that other stuff I never used in them. So, some of them were decent, especially the ones up front that are in the ground. And yesterday I saw some potatoes sitting on top, so I covered those up with dirt and hay. And none of them were green. So I know there's going to be some potatoes in there, and that's where my biggest ones will probably come from. And the plants have not really died back yet. Some of them have, but all of them haven't. That's why I'm letting them go a little longer. But I think this weekend I'm going to go on and at least get the ones in the container. The ones that are in the ground, I'm going to let those go a little longer, long as nothing's rotted or whatever. And we'll see what happens. Okay, you guys, so this is what I got out of this bunch. It filled the bowl. And so I should fill all 9 tiers. And this is going to give me quite a bit. Because these peppers were a little bigger, and I love the variety of the colors here. So I'm going to go outside real quick, because I don't want these peppers to sit too long. So I'm going to go out to the greenhouse. I'm going to go get the basil, the French tarragon, because all that can go right on top with this right here. With the vanilla, the peppers, and the, what else? Vanilla, peppers, French tarragon, basil. That will go on the top tier. I reserved that. So the rest of the 8 tiers will be for these peppers. They should fit fine. And then tomorrow, depending on how many peppers I get, and I want to get enough peppers to finish out my quart. I have a pint over there, so I just have a pint to go. And I think that if I buy 30 peppers, I'm thinking 30 peppers should do it. That should give me a pint. And that will be for my sweet pepper powder. And then after that, I will be working on the Italian nails. And the Italian nails, I am not going for a quart. I'll be going for either a half pint or a pint of that, whatever I can get out of that. And so I'm figuring in the next 2 weeks here, I should be done. Or next 3 weeks, I should be done with my pepper powders. And that will be it for this season. And then that's the biggest bulk of my work. And so then next month, like I said, I'm going to do one more Kirk & Sweeney vanilla for my lifetime supply to be done. I'm going to order that vanilla probably before the end of this month. I'm going to order the vanilla, and that will be here waiting. And then next month, I will go and get that bottle of Kirk & Sweeney, and away we go. Instead of me waiting to January to start it, I'll be starting it in September. So that will give me a jump. Let's see, September, October, November, December. I'll be 5 months in January, 6 months in February. So technically, that new Kirk & Sweeney will be ready in February, but I'm not going to use it. Unless, I may or may not, I don't know. But anyway, then that will let that other one sit a little longer, because that 24 year, it'll be 2 years old in January. And then the other one will be a year old in January. So if I can let that one sit at least 2 to 3 years itself, that's fine. So I probably will use the new one, because I want the lifetime supply off the Kirk & Sweeney. And then I already announced on Facebook that I'll probably be selling some of the Bacardi spiced rum that I have. Although I like it, it's a very good flavor, and that's what I'm using now, and it's fine. But that Kirk & Sweeney, hands down, is better. So I want to be using the good stuff, okay? So that's how that will go. So I'll probably sell off some of that Bacardi vanilla and be done with it. Okay, and I'll be doing that locally so that they can come get it and bring their own little bottle. And I'll let them know, okay, you're only bring a vanilla bottle because that's about as much as you're going to get. I'm not giving you a whole pint and all this other stuff. You know, they'll be getting a small amount. And they'll still end up paying less than what they pay in the store. I'm not going to charge them an arm and a leg, although I could because it's homemade and premium and all that stuff. But I won't. You know, they won't pay as much. I'll probably go, you know, tell them $10 for a little bottle of it. And I think it'll be well worth it. And it will last them a long time because I will let them know you're going to cut in half whatever the recipe calls for. If that recipe say to put a teaspoon of vanilla, you bet not, unless you want everything to taste like vanilla, because it will be potent. So in that case, it will last them twice as long as a regular bottle of vanilla will last. And I am rambling like a robot, so I'm getting ready to get off of here, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And may God bless you all. I might come on at the farmer's market. I may or may not. We'll see. We will see, because I'm going to be in and out. Well, I will be in and out, but then I won't. I know the honey man won't be there tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about him. My farmers, the ones who sell the peppers, that's where I'll go first. And then I'll make my way to the, the herb table. The wool lady will be there tomorrow, so I'll stop just to say hi to her. I know I'm not buying none. I'm not spending no cash tomorrow. And then the other thing, those wax beans, those yellow wax beans that I couldn't get last week because, it was something to do with the credit card. I forgot what had happened, but I couldn't get the yellow wax beans. So depending on how much is left out of the tokens, then I will go and get just one tub of the yellow wax beans. I'll get those just to mix in with my other green beans, and I have enough now. So that's the only thing I have to buy in the green bean category. And I'll look around and see, you know, what they have. I know there's a lot of garlic there. So it all depends on where my tokens take me. I know what I want to get. So once I get those 2 items, if there's anything left over, then that's when I will get overflow items. So I'll probably be in there about 30 minutes or till my legs start getting tired. And now that I know about that parking spot in the back right by the door, that's where I will be parking instead of where I normally park up front, because you have to walk all the way across that place to get where you're going. Parking at the back, you are right there. It's like I was right at the honey man. I just walked down the little thing and there I was right there. So it cut my walking a great deal. Okay, so I'm off of here, you guys. Look at these peppers. They're beautiful. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna get off of here, and with the next tutorial that the next video that I do of me making any type of powder with the processing, y'all seen the pepper powder too many times. The next time will be when I make the mixed seasoning. So that will be a totally different ball game, because you'll see me dumping and adding to it and whatnot. And then I'll give it a little taste. I'll probably have something there to, you know, and shake a little bit and taste it to see how I like it, that type of thing. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how quickly I can get this done. So we will talk to you later, and may God bless you all. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oops. Wait a minute. The camera is clear across the table here.